Welcome to Wake Up TV. I'm Eric Curry. We have several stories lined up for you today. A Wake County resident shares her photography skills to save animals. We'll have details on that story. Plus, Wake County poultry owners are encouraged to register their fowl with the state. We'll tell you why. But first, the Wake County Board of Elections staff is busy this time of year as they prepare for the upcoming municipal elections next month and in November. This is also a busy past few months for my guest, Gary Sims, who was selected to succeed longtime director Sherry Poucher, who recently retired. Gary, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Eric.
First, since this is your first appearance on Wake Up TV as director of Wake County Board of Elections, can you share with the viewers a little bit about your professional career?
Well, actually, I've been in Wake County already since 2007. I've been serving as the deputy director in Wake County since that time, and before that, I actually was a director in Wayne County. So I worked for the Wayne County Board of Elections. So started there back in 2003. Before that, I was actually an elections investigator working with the State Board of Elections and also working kind of a quasi dual role. I was actually working also as a computer consultant with them. So been doing that since 1999.
And your challenge is coming up really quickly. Municipal elections vastly approaching next month and in November. Can you share with us what races are up for grabs?
Okay, well, first of all, just need to make sure that Wake County citizens know that what we have coming up next month and in November is going to be municipal races only. So that's what we got going on for 2015. So number one is if you live in the city of Raleigh, so in other words, you're a resident of the city of Raleigh, then you're going to be eligible to vote in October. And then, of course, if you're a resident of Cary, you'll be eligible to vote in October. Now, when we get to November, those are simple plurality races. So that's where you'll have towns like Fuquay-Varina, Wendell, Roseville, any of the other municipalities. Those elections will be held in November.
Have there been any changes to precincts since the last election?
Well, actually, we're happy there's been a change. Precinct 2013, we were very grateful because the county commissioners granted us funding in order to split that precinct. That's one of our western precincts that we had, and it's been experiencing some of our highest growth. Wake County, as you know, is growing. So we were very fortunate to get funding in order to split that one. So we actually turned that one precinct into 3 separate precincts. So we're hoping that the residents there will be happy with that because obviously the larger the precinct, potentially longer lines and so forth. So that's probably one of our biggest ones. We just mailed out voter cards to all those voters that lived in that precinct. So, and that precinct was getting close to 9,000 voters. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were very happy that we were able to split that.
There's been a lot of talk recently about changes in the voter ID laws. And, you know, I think a lot of voters would just like to know what to do in the upcoming elections and if it affects them in October and November.
Right. Well, there are some changes that are actually part of the law right now. And of course, there always could be changes that happen before we get to 2016. One of the big things, not only the Wake County Board of Elections, but the State Board of Elections has been working on is just educating voters, making sure that they're ready for 2016, making sure that they understand what types of identification they may be required to provide next year. And also other changes that may have happened, that did happen, were things such as making sure that you register in time. So don't sit around and not get your information up to date because really you have to have your registration in 25 days before every election. So we're really trying to get the word out there. We want you to vote, but in order to vote, you got to get registered. But we do make it very easy for you. You can go to the Department of Motor Vehicles whenever you go there to get your address updated or anything for your driver's license. You can also do it online through the DMV. You can go to any Wake County Public Library in the county and get registered there. And the libraries then will get the registration form back to us and we'll get you processed and we'll get you out a brand new voter registration card within 7 to 10 days.
Interesting. And how can citizens get more information about the upcoming election?
One of the best resources we have, not just out there on the media, but we do a lot of work on putting all of our information on our WakeGov website. So please go to our website, take the time. We put information out there as far as who's running for office. We put additional information out there. We put every type of resource. In other words, if we get a phone call, we try to figure out how to put it on our website. So, and most people right now, they have access to the internet. Or again, I'm going to market the Wake County Public Libraries. Every library has a computer you can go to. You can do your research there.
Okay, guest Gary Sims, Director of Wake County Board of Elections. Again, congratulations on your new position. And I'm sure your staff will be quite busy in the next few months.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coming up, there's a unique library program aimed at providing teens with unique leadership skills. Stay tuned.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
If you visited the Wake County website and click the Wake Library site, you will find a slogan on the teen page that clearly states every teen ready to lead. It's a slogan that is put into practice thanks to a unique program to empower teens grades 6 through 10. Joining us to talk about the program is none other than Ann Burlingame, Assistant Director with Wake County Libraries. Thank you so much for being here.
It's good to see you.
We understand that Wake County Public Libraries was recently recognized by the National Association of Counties. Can you tell us a little bit about that NACO award?
Sure. We were given an achievement award with the distinction of Best in Category for our Teen Leadership Program.
And I guess receiving this award is a wonderful achievement, but a lot of folks probably are not familiar with the Teen Leadership Program. Can you give us a little bit more about it?
Sure. As you said, the program reaches out to kids between 6th and 10th grade. And it really is a program that focuses on giving teens and tweens an opportunity to contribute to their community, to engage in team building activities, and to earn community service hours by being engaged and involved in their public library.
And what are some examples of the programs offered by TLC?
Well, one of the programs we offer is called Reading Buddies. And Reading Buddies will pair a teen or a tween with a younger child who needs a little extra support in reading. We also have Learning with Legos, which is very popular because it's Legos. And that will pair teens and younger children with together in working on critical thinking skills, math skills, and doing all that in the fun environment with Legos.
Now, how can these teens learn about TLC and some of the programs offered?
Well, I always encourage people to go to our website, wakegov.com/libraries, or visit your local library. They would love to tell you more about the Teen Leadership Corps.
And how many teens approximately are reached through this program?
Well, last year we reached over 4,000 teens with 40 programs.
And how exciting is it to have teens decide to be a part of this program?
Well, it's very rewarding because we found that, you know, with teens, they really want to be engaged. They don't want you to do something for them. They want to do something. So by instituting this program and designing it, so it's a win-win for the library because we really want to get teens in there, get them reading, get them engaged. But also it gives teens that age 6th to 10th grade when, you know, you need places to go and things to do that are positive, and that's what this is.
And since I have you, there are, I guess, some updates to other branches within the Wake County Library System. Can we talk a little bit about the renovation project for
Sure.
Southeast Regional Library in Garner?
Yes, the Southeast Regional Library is going to be renovated. It was part of the 2007 bond referendum. And so it will get new paint, it will get new carpet, it's going to get new shelving. Some of the systems that are at life cycle will be replaced. We will kind of change the layout to create a program room for adults. And it's going to close on September 26th to begin the renovation.
Okay, and what is the update on Leesville Road Library?
We are so excited that Leesville Road will be open again and our big celebration is September 5th to celebrate the libraries back there for the community. It was also had to be painted. It has new carpet. The circulation room was all redone because of the water damage. We've also installed a fire suppression instrument in the book drop room, so if ever we had a fire in there again, although the room will contain it, the fire suppression will put it out immediately. It's like a fire extinguisher in that room. And also we've changed the layout just a bit so we're able to give a little more space to children's services.
So this month, those that have enjoyed Leesville for the past few years will be able to start enjoying it once again.
Yes, it will be back, and we are very excited. We are going to have a big party on the 5th. There will be a magician.
Okay, so I'll be there to give all my tricks, right?
Yes.
Ann Burlingame, Assistant Director with Wake County Libraries, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
When we return, we'll give pet owners some tips on keeping their pets safe. Stay tuned.
The time is right to head out to Bond Park and have some fun. Test your fishing skills at the water or take a relaxing ride in one of our boats. For more adventure and challenge, get a bird's eye view from the rope course or stay on the ground for team building fun. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, there's an option for you. Need supplies or maybe a cool treat? Visit the concession stand. Our friendly staff is there to help make the most of your day. So gather some friends, the family, or your teammates and come enjoy a day at the town of Cary's Bond Park.
Welcome back. Now that we're deep into the warm weather season, you can easily find pet owners out walking their four-legged companions, whether it's in their backyard or a trek through the woods. But you got to understand that pet ownership begins with understanding the importance of vaccinating your animals. Joining us to talk about the importance of vaccines is Dr. Jennifer Federico, the director of the Wake County Animal Center. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First, we've heard a number of stories about the spread of rabies in the wild, and even recently the rabid fox that roamed through a North Raleigh neighborhood before finally being caught. They come in contact with domestic animals as well as sometimes, unfortunately, with humans. So can you talk about what rabies is and how the rabies vaccine protects animals and their owners?
Absolutely. So rabies is a virus and it is typically fatal if you get it. So what we want to do is have pet owners protect their pets first and foremost. As a veterinarian, they're the most important to me, by getting their vaccines either annually or every 3 years, depending on when their last vaccine was given. So if your dog or cat comes in contact with that rabid fox, the only requirement is that you booster it within 3 days. You're also protecting your family from that as well because your pets are protected. Now, unfortunately, when we have pets that aren't and they're exposed to wildlife, if they're not up to date on their vaccines, they potentially have to go through a 6-month quarantine. So it's much better to have all of your pets kept up to date.
In general, what preventative care is necessary for dogs and cats?
So all dogs and cats should be absolutely rabies vaccinated. It's actually the law. And then we start talking about lifestyles. So for both, you want to have them on flea and tick prevention, which is really an important thing in the summer especially. It should be done year round. And then vaccinations. So there's some core vaccines that all dogs and cats can get. And then there's other vaccines that are more tailored to the different lifestyles that you may lead with your dog. If you're out hiking, there may be additional vaccinations you need. And those are best to talk to your veterinarian about because they know you, they know your pet, and they can assess what vaccines are needed by all of your pets.
Now, some people that own animals decline some preventative health care measures simply because they say, I have an indoor cat or I have an indoor dog, and decide not to get shots for their pets.
I tell owners, and I've seen it happen, is what if you had an emergency and you had to go out of town because a family member fell ill and you need to board your pets? You have to have them up to date on vaccines. And I had a situation where a client did not have their pet up to date and had to stay in town an additional 3 days because they had to have a certain time period from vaccination till when the pet could be boarded. And now they're already stressed out with their family emergency and they're staying here. So there's a lot of reasons to have them up to date. You also can't predict when your pet is going to get lost, if they're going to get out the front door, if you know, they're going to be exposed to other animals while you're out walking or doing things. So it's best to at least have the minimum core vaccines on board for the health of your animal. Also, when you're getting vaccinations, you're getting a physical exam. Pets age much faster than we do, so you want to have that annual physical. And if they need the vaccination that year, great, but if they don't, you still need to have that physical exam done to make sure they're healthy.
Obviously, cost is a major factor in getting your pets vaccinated, and a lot of folks go through mail order companies to purchase vaccines. Yes or no on that?
I have a hard time because there's ways that you have to keep your vaccinations, there's temperatures they have to stay at, or they may not be effective. Your best bet is to have them done through your veterinarian. Now, you can get your flea prevention online at PetSmart, so saving in those areas now that a lot of the better flea products are over the counter is a much better route than with your vaccines. And shop around. You can call a number of different places. Some practices have vaccine clinics, so that is the better route to go. And in the long run, your pet will be better off.
And how can residents find out more information about vaccinations or about the Animal Center?
So we have a website, which is www.wakegov.com/pets, and we have information on that site. When we have rabies clinics, which we offer in the spring and the fall, our rabies vaccines are $5, and they're on our events page.
Dr. Jennifer Federico, Director of the Wake County Animal Center, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, we'll have more on WakeGov TV.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against the wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
The Wake County Animal Center is home to a number of homeless and abandoned pets. While staff and volunteers of the center work hard to find perfect homes for the animals, unfortunately, there are still a number of animals that are left behind. But thanks to talented photographer Shannon Johnstone and the landscape of a former landfill turned park, the outlook for these animals to being adopted is a little more optimistic.
My name is Shannon Johnstone, and I have a photography project called Landfill Dogs. I've been working on it since October of 2012, so it's going on 3 years now. And so far I've photographed 143 dogs, and of that lot, 123 have gotten homes, 12 have been euthanized, and the rest are still waiting. For me, really the end goal is for people to raise awareness and to have people adopt, to not buy animals, to actually go to the shelter and say, hey, there's really great dogs there. You know, and if you're looking for a really good dog, the first place you should look is at an animal shelter. A lot of the people on the Landfill Dogs Facebook page, they're amazing and they're dedicated followers, and a lot of them are not from around here, so they share them far and wide, which is great, which I think is raising awareness about adopting in other places too. Even if you can't adopt or volunteer or you can't do anything, just sharing the pictures, I think that's a great way to get involved. It's really easy to just share a picture. The Wake County staff is just such a compassionate, dedicated group of people. They're always there after hours. They fly back immediately. They spend their personal time and their free time caring for these animals and promoting them, and my hat goes off to them for all their hard work. They're strong in ways I could only dream to be.
Honestly, the way Landfill Dogs got started was, I just remember Shannon coming up and asking me if she could take dogs to photograph, and she told me about this idea, and I just thought it was awesome to take the dogs out and photograph them. And then I'm not afraid of being transparent, so talking about euthanasia to me wasn't an issue, because it's the reality of our community. It is the reality of sheltering in North Carolina and the United States, so instead of shying away from it, why don't we do something about it? And this is what she was doing, and she was taking our most, hard-pressed dogs and giving them a different light. And then I got to see the photos. So the first one I remember is Karma, this black and white photo that now hangs in my office. And it's just beautiful, and it's from the back of the dog, and she's looking out over the land, and it just is hopeful. And I think that is what it is to me, is just this hope for these animals to find new homes, for people to look at them in a different light than pretty much pit bull, bully breed mixes behind kennel doors. So it was, and still they're beautiful and everyone loves them. She's in her own world as far as she's seeing stuff that the handlers, at least this handler, could not see. And she sees it and she can position them and she interacts with these dogs because it's more than, yes, she's up here to photograph them, but she's up here to give them that opportunity away from the shelter, out of the kennel, the car ride. It's the whole package for them, and it's time to play with them. So you can tell how much she loves interacting with them, and I think you can see that they love it by the pictures she's getting of them.
I realized early on as this project started getting attention and publicity that, I'm happy to accept credit for the work and say, yeah, these are my photographs, but I don't want to personally profit off of these animals suffering, which is basically what's happening, with them not getting home. So I have a job as a professor of photography, so I'm not looking to make money. So all the money that I make goes back into the Heal a Heart program that helps the dogs.
We're always looking for volunteers and foster families. So you can go to our website and check out the How to Help page, and it tells you how to become a volunteer, how to become a foster parent, how you can just donate. Maybe you can't handle coming in the shelter, and some people can't, but you can do a fundraiser at your church to get dog biscuits and cat toys, and there's something everybody can do. They just have to find their little niche, and it all helps the animals.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it. You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Welcome back. Avian influenza, better known as AI, is a virus that infects wild birds and domestic poultry, such as chickens, turkeys, ducks, and geese. There are no active cases of this illness in the state as of yet. Similar to the human flu, AI is not common in warm months, but agricultural experts predict they may see an introduction of an increase of this illness in the fall and winter. Joining us to talk about AI is Peter Alston, Extension Agent with the Wake County Human Services. Thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
What is avian influenza and why is it important for officials to monitor this bird illness?
Avian influenza, we're looking in particular at HPAI. It's highly pathogenic avian influenza. And this virus is carried by wild migratory birds. And we've seen our most dangerous and severe cases in the mid-northwest in Minnesota and Iowa.
How is this virus transmitted, and why is this illness spread not in the summer months but in the fall and winter?
So this virus is carried in these wild birds, duck, geese, shorebirds, in particular these waterfowl, and spread through their droppings. So areas around ponds and any surface water has high potential to carry the virus. Dogs come through near the pond, step on geese droppings, and carry it somewhere else. And this virus is most active in cool, moist places. So not so much in the summertime that we're thinking North Carolina is at risk. However, come wild bird migration in the fall, coming September, October, and even further into the season as well. But as these cooler temperatures drop, the virus has more potential to live.
Is there a risk to human health and or the food supply?
Currently, there is no human infection in the United States from this virus. It's different than what you may have heard with the Asian avian influenza. It's a different strand of the virus. We do not have that in the United States. So risk to human health is very low. There have been no cases. As of the food supply, with programs through USDA, NCDA, and monitoring and testing, there is no possibility of any infected chickens entering the food chain.
What should poultry owners do to ensure that their poultry is registered?
Currently, the NCDA put out a press release in late July requiring all poultry owners, with whether you have one chicken or dozens of chickens on your property, to register your farm through the NCDA program, NC Farm ID. This registration will aid in being able to notify poultry owners in case any outbreak or any risk. And as far as what homeowners should be doing to protect their flock, we cannot control wild bird populations, but we can control what's in our backyard. So things like separating your chicken poultry away from any surface water ponds, getting them under covered shelters, having a spare set of boots to keep on property that you only go into your coop with. You aren't going to wear your tennis shoes, tend your chickens, go to the feed store. That type of contamination has potential to spread. And also knowing the warning signs of what to look for in the illness. Respiratory stress, bruising, swelling, sudden death. If chickens seem healthy one day, then immediately the next day you lose half your flock. That's really something you want to take care of. And we really encourage monitoring, testing, and reporting.
And finally, how can poultry owners, whether they're commercial and or homeowners, find out more information about this issue?
The NCDA has an excellent website covering the avian flu with educational resources, news releases, and that sort of thing. And check out our extension wake.ces.ncsu.edu. We have our website there with up-to-date information as well.
Great. Peter Austin, Extension Agent with Wake County Human Services. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And that's our show for today. Keep up with the latest Wake County news by visiting us online at wakeup.com/news or on Facebook or Twitter. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.